Are you thinking about going to Germany for your studies but are not sure whether you will be able to get through all of the challenges? Whether the level of education is too tough for you, maybe I have some doubts whether you're good enough for it or not, or just curious how difficult it is to study in Germany. This video is just for you. Hi guys, I'm Evgeny Liseyev, a happy student of a master's program in Germany, and today I want to share with you my thoughts on the level of difficulty of higher education in Germany, as well as my experience of studying here. Watch this video till the very end, not to repeat my mistakes. If you are new to my channel, it's all about helping you to improve every aspect of your life. I have a playlist of videos all about studying in Germany with a great number of practical tips for you. Feel free to subscribe to maximize your chances of entering your dream university in Germany. Now, let's get started. A few years back, when I was thinking about going to Germany to complete the master's program International Information Systems, my thoughts were pretty double-edged. On the one hand, I was very excited about it, because it was my dream to study here. You know, the German higher education is one of the best in the world. The courses I was going to study were so fascinating, and it was such a great boost in terms of my personal and professional development. But on the other hand, I was scared. Like, what if I'm just not good enough for it? What if the level of complexity here is so high that I won't simply go through it? My whole life I fought to get the maximum results, be it my studies, my chess career, or just the personal development. I never really settled for some mediocre achievements, so I was worried about what's gonna happen. I mean, I have never studied outside of my country, I have never studied in a foreign language, yet alone in 2 foreign languages, as my master's program was going to be partially in English, partially in German. And on top of that, the program includes some programming courses, and I come from business background with no programming experience at all. And of course, I wondered how difficult the courses really are. I tried to find all the relevant information I could. I have studied the structure of my program in all details. For example, I have discovered that one of the compulsory courses in my first semester of study is going to be based on a CS50 course from Harvard University. So I decided to start doing it. I mean, the course is available online, it's completely for free, and most importantly, I'm gonna get the answer I'm desperately looking for, namely, how difficult it's gonna be to study. I have a dedicated video about the course, by the way, so if you have ever thought of learning programming and you have little to no programming experience, that's arguably the best way possible to start your journey in the world of programming. The link to the video would be in the description. When I actually started my master's in Germany, I was very excited about it. You know, this feeling when your dream comes true in the first days or maybe even weeks, you kind of still don't believe that it's a reality now. But what I also realized is it's not really about how smart I am. I mean, all of the material was completely new for me, I had never idea about it before. Instead, it was all about how dedicated I am to study, how hard I work, whether I really do all the necessary tasks. It turned out that if I do my due diligence, if I carefully go through all the theoretical concepts and complete the practical exercises, I can actually achieve good results in this program. So I was pretty satisfied with my progress during the first semester. But still, one thing is attending the lectures, watching the videos, doing your homework with everything you might need at hand, writing your exams in a stressful situation under time pressure without any additional help is something completely different. Also, for most of the courses you get all 100% of your grade just for the exam, which might lead to a false sense of confidence during the exam that you have everything under control until you finally all of a sudden just fail the exam. So I was waiting for my examinations, being once again both scary and excited at the same time. I took too many courses in the first semester, by the way, 9 different courses amounting to 35 ECTS in total. Normally, Masters in Germany is 120 ECTS and the minimum duration of the program is 4 semesters. So I said I have to take 30 ECTS every semester, and I took some German courses on top of that to improve my language. To give you more understanding, 1 ECTS amounts to 30 studying hours. So 35 ECTS would be 1050 studying hours for the whole semester. The duration of the lecturing period in Germany is roughly 4 months, so 120 days. Let's add 2 more weeks for the preparation for the exams. Now we have 135 days in total. If we divide the number of the hours by the number of the days, we get 7 hours and 45 minutes of studying per day, every day, in a period of 135 days in a row. That sounds crazy, right? Looking back now, I understand that it was rather a mistake to take that many courses in the first semester, leading to some unnecessary additional stress. It turned out that there is no rush to finish your masters in 4 semesters. In fact, on average, students rather take 5 to 6 semesters to complete the program. So let's say 25 CTS for the first semester for a foreigner to whom the whole educational system is completely new would have been more than enough. If we do our calculations again, that would amount to 5.5 hours of studying every day or 6.5 hours of studying per day, taking 1 day a week completely off. I mean, it's gonna be very crazy to not take any days off in a period of 135 days, right? Now, I have to say that these numbers are based on how the university calculates the workload. In reality, it might differ as every student is different. Somebody needs more time for something, somebody needs less. And people are also taking less courses if they work part-time. Normally it's like 15 to 20 ECTS per semester. I have to say though that this crazy first semester made me much stronger in the process, and also I had to take fewer courses in the following semesters, so it has a positive side of the coin too. Anyway, as the first exams were coming, I was doing my best to prepare for it. By the way, let me know in the comments if you want me to create a dedicated video about my system of preparation for the exams. The exams itself might be very different here. It could be multiple choice questions of all possible kinds, it could be open questions with a few words or a few sentences answer, it could be open questions where you need to draw some models. If you are happy if there are some previous year's exams available or a trial exam, so you can get some feeling of what to expect during the real exam. It's, by the way, the most important and the most efficient part of the preparation, at least in my opinion. You get yourself a timer, you print your exam, and you just imagine that it's a real one and you write it. Afterwards, you can analyze what you have done wrong, what you have done right, and most importantly, why you did so, what your decision-making process was. This way, you feel much more confident during the real exam. Sometimes, of course, there are no trial exams available, which makes the preparation much more difficult as you don't know what to expect. So I have written my exams and then waited for the result. It's, by the way, very different in Germany. My home country, I almost always got the results in the same day or the next day after the exam. Here, you should wait on average around 2 weeks to get your grade, and in some cases even more than a month. Surprisingly enough, not only I passed all of the exams, but I also get really good grades for all of them except for the ones that I didn't really like for the whole semester. And the highlight was that programming course that I was most afraid of, where I got 1.3 grade, which is the second best possible grade in Germany. Only at that moment I have managed to convince myself that I'm really good enough for it, or to use more appropriate words, I'm hardworking enough for it, because from my experience, that is what it really takes to be successful if you want to study in Germany. Now, going back to the initial question of the video, I would say that studying in Germany is challenging in many ways. In most of the courses, you have to work hard throughout the whole semester to get a decent grade or even just to pass the exam. On top of that might be the language barrier if you are studying not in your native language. The exam questions might be so tricky that even though you have understood all the theoretical concepts, you can easily explain it to the real person, you still can't really understand, grasp and properly answer those questions, and you end up failing the whole exam. That's a real story, happened to me. The time that you get in your exam is also often calculated in the way that you just have enough time to transfer the knowledge from your head into the examination paper. I often had this feeling that I don't have any time to really process the question and come up with a thoughtful answer. I personally don't get it. I mean, why don't you give me additional 30 minutes or whatever so I can really dive deep into the questions and come up with the best possible answer? I mean, if I am not prepared for the exam, the time wouldn't help me either way. So why should students decide whether they want to answer properly only a fraction of the questions or they want to answer all of the questions superficially? I mean, it's not really just my opinion, but I also have to say that it's not always the case, of course. If you do fail the exam, you always have a chance to retake it next term. In fact, you always have 3 tries to pass any exam, so it's nice to know that you have the right to make a mistake. Moreover, if it's not a compulsory course in your program, you can just forget about it altogether and take something else. Summarizing my point here, the exams are tough. They require both replicating what you have learned during the semester as well as applying those knowledge and do some practical tasks. And sometimes, even though you have a very good feeling after the exam, the actual grade is lower than your expectations were. The whole semester of study, though, is fully your responsibility. In most of the cases, nobody cares if you attend the lectures, learn the material, or do your homework. So you have two options here. Either you have some chill months during the semester, but then chances are, as the examination phases approach and you might get into trouble, or you work really hard throughout the whole semester and then go through the examination phase relatively problem-free. I personally started with the second approach and then shifted with the time to finding some balance between the two, so I still have some time for other activities that are important for me. Now, please don't get me wrong, I don't want to scare you with this video. I'm absolutely sure that you are capable of studying in Germany, and if it's your dream like it was mine, if you understand your why clearly, you're gonna be able to get through any how. Going to Germany for my master's was one of the best decisions in my life, which I never regretted. It helps me to improve in all of the possible directions as well as leads me to my further goals. I hope my experience will bring more awareness to you in terms of what to expect and allow you to make the most reasonable choices depending on your concrete situation. Now, I can guarantee you that this video will increase your chances of getting accepted to a German university. But before you go and start achieving your goal, don't forget to hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel to get even more useful information.